This is Brian, screenfiles.com and review. What I'm looking at today is 2018's Slice, directed by Austin Vesely. And I really wanted to like this movie. It has werewolves. It has things of the night. This is a movie I wanted to like so much. Never mind, it was released by A24, which I wasn't aware of as the premier home for marquee horror. So, as I said, I really wanted to like this movie, though I despised it. The problem isn't Chance the Rapper, who is very charismatic. Not a great actor, but very charismatic in the role. And with more acting, he probably will be really good. It's the director, who is also the writer, Austin Vesely, who, by my reckoning, doesn't understand what comedy is. Or at least, he may understand it, he may recognize it, but he doesn't know how to interpret it. He doesn't know how to apply his understanding. By which I mean, Slice revolves around a town named Kingfisher, supposedly the most haunted place in America. And the mayor of Kingfisher has made it so that all the ghosts in Kingfisher go to a place he calls Ghost Town. That's your movie! How did that happen? Why did the ghosts go to Ghost Town? That's your movie! The story of someone killing people in which a werewolf, Chance the Rapper, well, I should say a werewolf, because he isn't a great looking werewolf, played by Chance the Rapper, is framed for. Why are you dealing with that at all? Your story is, how the fuck did your mayor make it so that part of Kingfisher was Ghost Town? Now keep in mind, that implies that the ghosts cooperated with him. How did that happen? Why did it happen? There's a story there. The movie doesn't care about that story. And in fact, in the opening, pretty much lays it out as exposition, when it should be the basis of your movie. Now, keep in mind something. I'm not a believer of ghosts in general, but let's say they were to exist. How could you make them cooperate with you? How could you make them, en masse, mind you, do what you want them to do? That's your movie. Why are we dealing with this nonsense of Chinese food delivering werewolf gore? It is a frustrating movie, though that's not the reason why. Well, it's one reason why, let's be honest. It's not the primary reason that Slice doesn't work. Which is to say, everyone isn't acting the fool in really good comedies. If you're like Mel Brooks in Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, you might be able to pull that off. Trust me, Austin Vesely is not Mel Brooks. He can't have everyone acting really hilarious. It doesn't work for him. Conversely, the best comedies, by my reckoning, are comedies that are played straight. Which is to say, you have a catalyst or two, like Bill Murray in Stripes, for instance. Bill Murray is the weirdest thing in the movie, and people kind of gravitate around him, but not everyone is acting the fool. In Slice, everyone is just irritating in different ways, and that's a pity, because there's some really good actors in it. As I said, Chance the Rapper's not bad, he's not great, but he's not bad either. And if given more time, I would anticipate him to be a very good actor. He's very charismatic and interesting to watch. Zazie Beetz, from Deadpool 2 is also pretty good here. Her performance doesn't work, but she's pretty good here. And Paul Scheer from The League, which is hilarious. If you've not seen The League, watch that instead of this. Is normally really funny, but he's not here. Except I should say, for the last 10 minutes of Slice, there's an end credits thing where the actors are promoting the pizza parlor that Paul Scheer's character owns. It is hilarious. But the problem is, it's the funniest thing in the movie. And the movie is a comedy, by the way. So that's a problem. I don't expect anyone to watch this movie for however long it lasts for the last 10 minutes. Instead, just go to the last 10 minutes. You'll probably have a better time with it. This movie bums me out because I want to enjoy it. I love horror movies, if it weren't fairly apparent by now. I like horror/comedies, if that also weren't fairly apparent by now. But that works on the assumption that you can do either of them well. Austin Vasily does horror not terribly well and comedy not terribly well, which means, by definition, the movie is going to suck. You might feel differently about Slice than I do. Please let me know. Tell me what I missed, because I did not enjoy this movie. This movie was a chore, and I'm game for this stuff. A well-done horror comedy is a joy to behold. I will sit here all day for it. I love them when they're well done. And that's another issue with Slice. There are no stakes to it. And I know on screen people are getting their throats slit and there are things happening, but it doesn't feel like there's any real stakes to anything. Events unfold, they don't particularly matter, no one seems to take it terribly seriously, and next scene happens. If you're doing horror and comedy, you have to make the horror real. It has to feel real to the person viewing it, in which case, me. None of what was happening in Slice felt at all real. It just felt like things were happening on screen. Things I didn't particularly care about because they didn't engage me. And the thing is, I really wanted to be engaged. But at the end of the day, this movie does not work. I think A24 came on my radar with Midsummer. Good movie, by the way. Ari Aster is the director. Talented dude. No, I should say Hereditary was the first time that A24 as a studio came on my radar. And they are well versed in producing really good horror movies. A-list horror movies, not disposable stuff by any stretch of the imagination. You don't get to that position willy-nilly. You don't get to that position randomly. You get to that position by working. And not everything you produce, at least initially, is going to work. Slice does not work. Slice is not terrible. And it's watchable. It's also not very good. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.